Welcome to the Elevated Marketing podcast show that is designed for business owners and marketers who are tired of overhyped advice. We talk through what we're testing, we challenge assumptions, and we share what's really happening in the world of marketing, which is messy, creative, and always evolving. Welcome to the show. All right. Welcome back to another Elevated Marketing podcast. My name is Jennifer Denny. I am the owner and founder of Elevated Marketing Solutions. And today we're going to talk about, should I be making videos that are following a trend such as a TikTok dance? So I get this question every so often from an existing client or maybe somebody I'm talking to about marketing, and I have an opinion. maybe, um, maybe you could, maybe you shouldn't. I think the true answer to this question is to break down the reasons why you think you should do it. And I think that's the true problem here, is that I equate when you are a strong brand or you have a strong, great team, you bring a lot of value to the table, and you're wanting to think about whether or not you need to create these, trending videos that we often see. And I think the answer is that you are trying to chase reach in your marketing, and you're trying to get in front of more people, but you're not getting in front of the right people. And it's really what I like to call gimmick marketing. And it's similar to where let's say you're driving down the road and you see a car lot and you see that dancing inflatable man, and they're using that as a tactic to gain your attention and perhaps get you to pull into the parking lot. But that might in fact get their attention. Do I think that that is what gets somebody to go to a car lot? No. Do I think that it helps that person, buy a car or decide that they want to spend that money on a new car? No. And so it's really gimmicking marketing is what it is. And so I think you have to think about, do you want to be known as a brand that does gimmick marketing in order to get somebody's attention? I would, call this kind of like when people make overly trendy memes, or they use clickbait headlines. Again, yes, clickbait headlines, definitely going to get somebody to click through. And, is that payoff worth it? And, giveaways with like no strategic target, excessively using emojis, forcing humor, viral challenges, using shock value for views. These are all like examples of gimmicky marketing. Even when you use the scarcity, like, oh, act now, buy now, like, that's the old Billy Mays like trick of, well, if you buy right now, then you're gonna get that off. And retail stores use it a lot, and there's a sale going on right now, and that's a good gimmicky marketing to get people in it. So while I do think that it can work to get attention, the things that these things have in common, they might get you short-term engagement where people pay attention to you, but they definitely don't educate your customer, build brand trust, clarify what you're offering. It doesn't support the sales team, and it really doesn't lead to a measurable return on your marketing. It gets you attention just for the sake of getting you attention. Um, Now, when you are a lifestyle type brand, such as you're in retail or e-commerce or those type of businesses, I do think that it can be of value. And I think that if you're trying to market for that type of business, then yeah, you should probably think about doing that type of marketing to help you. But when you're in the type of industries that we typically service, which is like a service-based industry or B2B or healthcare, in those type of industries, gimmicky type marketing really can serve as a distrust. It doesn't come across as, oh, well, we're the best dentist place to use because we do TikTok viral videos. Like, no, the correlation is not there. You're not a lifestyle type brand. So, um, I think it really confuses entertainment with intent. It really weakens your brand authority. It looks like imitation, not innovation. And you just have to really ask yourself, like, is this really going to help me get anywhere? If your goal is when you put that out, oh, I want to go viral. First of all, you're not going to go viral when you create a dance that somebody else has already done or you redo. You're just a follower. And I don't think for most brands, that's really what you're going for. Um, what you should really do is, create videos that answer your customers' greatest questions that they have. Show team members doing real work. You can still show them having fun, but that doesn't mean you should pull your staff together and be like, okay, well, we're going to do a dance today. Show like quick wins, like before, after, break down a myth. It's okay to respond to a headline if it has to do with your business, if it's actually in your space. So, really, it can be a distraction to why you are good in your industry and how you help people. So, I think if you're thinking about, do I need to create, that quote unquote trend setting content? The answer for clients that we work with is likely no. Um, Maybe for some, but I think you have to think long term and be a leader, not necessarily a follower. So, you know, the name of the game is marketing is to be seen, but doing gimmick marketing is not the type of attention that you want. You want attention because people really like what you are able to offer and you do the right things. So, whatever that might be for your particular industry. So, the jury for me is probably not, but I could come up with a use case to where this maybe would make sense. It's just I'm not a big fan of the gimmicky, trending marketing, where you're trying to create the next viral thing. True businesses don't rely on going viral. They rely on putting out a good product or service and making sure the consumer knows about that. So, all right. Well, I think that wraps up today's topic. If you enjoyed today's show, certainly leave us a rating and review if you're listening to the podcast. That helps us, get in front of more people. Or you can follow me over on LinkedIn. Usually we put out a written version of every blog post, or you can head over to elevatedmarketing.solutions and sign up for our newsletter so that you can get all the great content in your inbox. All right, take care now.